Hello there. So you've probably by now played around with Google Lens a little bit, but we're going to talk tech about 5 things that you might not know that it also can do for you. So let's get started. Hello and welcome. So, like I said, you probably have checked out Google Lens at some point or something like it, but we're going to talk about some things that you might not know it can do. But as always, we're going to start off to level set so everybody's on the same page, starting with what the heck am I talking about? What is Google Lens? So, Google Lens is a tool that you get from Google for free, and it works on your desktop in the browser. Although we'll talk about like you don't get quite as much functionality out of that at this point. But the really powerful part of it is when you're using it on your mobile devices. So think your mobile, your phone, your tablet, what that type of thing, right? And what you can do is you take the app that you can install, or you can just access it through the Chrome browser, and you point the camera at something. And then you pick from the different options that are available in the tool to get different results. And that's really where some of the power lies. And it is something that is available to all of us, right? So it doesn't matter what system you're on, what your preferred operating system is for your phone or your computer. It is available to everybody. As always, links are in the description, but just so you know what you're looking for. Oh, there we go. So there's, of course, a page that you can go to, lens.google, where you can get more information about it, you can get more details, and of course, you can also go ahead and get. Really? You're not going to page down for me now? Oh, of course, you're not. There we go. So it will take you through all the things that it can do. There's additional information available, but as you can see, it's available in the app. It uses the camera. You can use it with the photos. You can use it in Chrome itself. And you can go to your favorite app store and you can go ahead and install it and get it there. You can also use this QR code to get it. And like I said, there's other information, like if you want to know how it works in more detail, what the privacy issues are, not issues, what privacy, controls are available on it, all that kind of stuff. It's all there for you. So feel free to go and check that out. But in the meantime, we're going to dive in and we are going to talk about what you can do with it. Now, of course, this is not going to count as part of the 5, but basically what you do is you point it at something, or in the browser you highlight it, you activate it, and then you highlight something, and it gives you Google results with it. Now, yes, you can do this kind of thing just in Google, right? You could type in the words, you could try to describe what you're looking at, that type of thing. But this has got a little bit extra power behind it because it is designed to do different things. And so while Lens is available in different things, depending on what operating system, what phone you have, all that kind of good stuff. In some cases, like if you are looking at a photo on your mobile device, there will be a little indication there that you can go ahead and use Lens on it. And you can do the whole picture, you can zoom in, you can like crop it and get, not really crop it, you use the little control tool on it. And then you can go ahead and just focus in on a particular piece of it. So that's generally what people are using it for. But we're going to talk about some other things that you can do. And to start with, the first and foremost, and probably the one that most people will be like, oh, right. And that is for shopping. So we're talking about if you see somebody, that maybe is wearing something and you'd like more information about it, or if you're out and about and you see something that, hey, is this something that I could maybe get? I wonder where this is available. You can use it for that. If you are maybe at a flea market or garage sale and you see something that catches your eye and you're like, I wonder if this is something, that I should be interested in, you can go ahead, take the picture of it and get the details about it, including like, prices and manufacturer and all that kind of good stuff. A lot of people use it at flea markets as well to get more information about stuff. So lots of different options for that. And it will even get you to the point where you can actually make the purchase from your phone, or you can just, get some more information about, whether or not that thing that looks like it might be, a crock pot that maybe people would be interested in buying, or, maybe you should get it. Or if you're a little concerned about, okay, you're seeing this thing, but, is this something that has been on a recall list? Or like, the people who are looking at like different kinds of glassware, whatever, some of them have lead in it. So you can maybe take a picture of it and get more information before you go ahead and spend your money on it. So it's a really handy way to get additional information in the moment while you're out and about. And of course, you don't have to make the purchase right away, right? You can just save that information for later. But you can also compare pricing and compare interest levels. Some people I know are doing this kind of thing for resale. So, is it worth me, paying $10 for this? Can I get more, in return? If you look at it and you find out, okay, well, they're asking $10 for it, but it's only selling in the marketplaces for like $2 or $3. Yeah, you're not going to waste your time on it. But if you pick up something and you say, it's $10 and you find out that you can sell it for 100, that's probably going to get your attention. That's probably going to be something that you want to go ahead and pursue. All right. So number 2 is around cooking. So there's 2 parts to this, but I'm counting it as one tip. And that is you can take the ingredients that you have in front of you, whatever is available in your cupboard, your refrigerator, and put it on a plate or on the table and take a picture of it and type the word recipe in, and it will kick you back pictures of, the meals and the recipes for what you can do with those particular items. You can also kind of do it in reverse, sort of like reverse search, right? So maybe you've seen a picture of a meal that you think you would like to try. Or maybe, you took a picture of a meal when you were out in a restaurant and you're like, gee, I wonder if this is something I could do for myself. So you can take a picture of the meal and it will get you the ingredients and a recipe for it. So it works in both directions and can be a really handy way to try something new or different, or try something new without maybe having to go to a restaurant because for whatever reason you're just not interested in doing that at the moment, or it was a meal that you had on vacation and you can't afford to jump on a plane to go and have that meal again. So it's another way to go ahead and get that information, give it a try yourself. Especially if you're any good in the kitchen, me not so much, but some people are really good in the kitchen, and so they might find this to be really handy. But like I said, it's also really good for those things that are in your refrigerator, in your cupboard, that you're like, okay, I don't know what to do with this, but it's what I have. Or, I need to use this before it goes bad. I would really like to find out, what's something tasty that I can do with this. Before we go any further, for those of you who might be new here, welcome. Happy to have you here. My name is Kathleen. I'm here as your tech coach. Short version of the story is technology is my day gig. It's also my hobby. So friends, family, neighbors, coworkers tend to come to me when they have questions, when they want recommendations, when they want help troubleshooting. So not everybody has somebody like that to talk to. So that's why we're here. So feel free to, jump in the comments. Or, you can also reach out to me at yourtechcoach.com if you have a topic you want me to cover here. If you have a question that I can answer pretty quickly, you can feel free to go ahead and put that in the form. Just make sure you give me an email address so that I can get back in touch with you. All right, let's keep going. All right, number 3. And this is one that can be fun and handy. So it can actually take handwritten notes and convert them into text. And you could also use it to capture text off of a screen. So if you have a picture of, words and you want to maybe, copy the URL out of it. So like, maybe an Instagram post or something like that, where the link is not live in the description, you can actually, take a screen capture of it and then view that through Google Lens, and it will turn it into text that you can then copy and paste into your URL. Also, by the same token, if you have written something down on a piece of paper, but you want to save it electronic and you don't want it to be your scribble, maybe you're going to share it with somebody, or maybe you're afraid you won't be able to read your handwriting later, which we all have that problem sooner or later, you can go ahead and do that. Now, there is a threshold for the handwritten note converting. Obviously, there has to be a certain level of legibility, but by all means, give it a try, and you'll be surprised. You'll probably be able to get it. I do not have the world's best handwriting. I never have. And it does a really good job. And particularly like if I'm rushed, it can be a problem, but so far it has not failed me. So it's definitely worth giving a try because, hey, it might work for you too. Alrighty, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is another one that's either, like if you're out and about, or again, if you're in an environment and you see something interesting. So what we're talking about here is plants and other living things, right? So if you're out walking around your neighborhood and you see a flower that you can't identify or a plant you can't identify, Or, if you're at like the botanical gardens, or, if you're out and about and you see an animal that you don't know, you can take a picture of it. And if you open up the Lens app, you don't even have to take a picture first. Like, you can just have the Lens app do it for you. And it will identify it for you and give you some background about it and tell you all kinds of things about it. And, that give you just that kind of information that you might need. It's particularly handy if you're not sure whether or not something might be poisonous, or might be something like, a poison ivy kind of situation where you don't want to touch it, but you're not sure if it falls into that category. Or if it's just a plant that you're like, I really like that plant. I'd like to have it in my home. I have no idea where it is. I don't even know where to begin to go and research it. So maybe it's a nice tree. Or like I said, it's just a plant. Or maybe, you're in a hotel and they've got a lovely lobby and they've got beautiful plants in there. And you're like, wow, I really like that. I'd love to, have that in my home. And maybe nobody in the hotel even knows what it is. So Google Lens will step up for you and show you what you want to do. Yes, okay, so let me show you. I tried to get my phone connected, but I am having problems with my main computer. I'm going to be ordering a new one next week. So let me just show you real quick, since you did ask, what you're looking for. And let me just zoom this in a bit. Oh, you're not going to work. Okay, no problem. I have a backup plan. Because the key to success here, is the options at the bottom. So hang on, let me just zoom this in so you can see it a little bit better. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, so right here. The key to getting really good results, you can just do the search and it will give you results, and that's fine. But like, for example, if you want to take your handwriting and turn that into text, you're better off going over here and selecting the text option here. And then this is a sliding menu, so there's more options to the right. And depending on what you are pointing Lens at, you may get more options here. So like, you can just make out shopping here. So shopping is another option that will come up. If something comes up that it recognizes, maybe, this is something that you're going to want to purchase. So keep an eye on that menu at the bottom. You'll get more or less options depending on what it is that you are trying to do. But by selecting things like text, if you are looking to do the conversion, that is going to bring you the most success. Also, just for anybody who wants to stay on top of what's coming out, what I'm going to be doing next year, there's a lot of good stuff that I've got planned out. I highly recommend you sign up for the mailing list. So it's yourtechcoach.com/mailing list. I always let those folks know first what the topic is going to be that I'm covering every week, but they're also the ones who find out first about the other stuff that I'm going to be doing. So if you have any interest, feel free to just go ahead and sign up. I don't sell my list to anybody, so you're not going to get like third parties bothering you. It's just a way for me to communicate with you. Alrighty. Number 5 is homework solving. Particularly math problems are very popular, but you can also just, again, take your mobile device or do it in the browser, and you can go ahead and get answers for math problems that you're not sure how to solve, or to get more information about your homework assignment. Now, this is not a replacement for you doing your homework, which is the thing that a lot of parents, when we talk about this kind of stuff, they get very concerned about. This is not going to keep anybody from learning. What it's going to do is it's going to help you with your research. It's going to help you walk through things. So you can go ahead and, like I said, you can point it at something and it will solve the equations for you. But you can also get more information about the question that's being asked in the homework, ideas on where to go and do more research on that particular topic, videos, text, all that kind of good stuff. So lots of information becomes available very quickly for you to help you be more efficient about getting your homework done, which is really a good thing in everybody's book. So for, anybody else who's done here, I appreciate you being here. I ask that you subscribe and follow, do all the things. And again, if you have any questions, if you have any ideas you want me to, for show topics, do feel free to reach out here. I'm more than happy to add those to my list. Depending on the topic, maybe I can kind of slide it in before the end of the year. If not, then I will certainly do it in the next year. For you folks who power through all the way to the end of my videos, I really appreciate it. It really does help the channel, which means that I can help more people because Google will spread this word a little bit more. I've got your bonuses for you. And so the first one is that in addition to all of this, you can also use Google Lens to get translations when you're out and about. So if you're out someplace and there's something like maybe you're on vacation or maybe you're just, walking around the neighborhood and there's a sign up in a language that you don't recognize and you'd like to learn more, it will give you the text translation for it right there and then. You don't have to wait for anything, or you just point Lens at it, hit the translate option in the bottom, which here I can show you that again. Moment. That one. So you see the little translate option right here. So you can point it at the words, say translate, and it will do the translation for you right there and then in the moment, which is really handy. Another thing that you can do with text is, again, you point Lens at it, and then it will read out the words to you if you select that option. Now, like I said, that option is only going to show up if you have text, as the thing that you've selected. So let me just see here. Like for a lot of people, when you first do this, right, it's going to have like just maybe a couple of things, right? Because there we go. So I haven't pointed at anything yet, right? So it's got translate, search, and homework. But once you start using it, and if you've never seen the app, this is what I was talking about with like how you select it, right? So you've got this, you see those little white borders. You want to put the image that you are trying to get the information about inside of that. And so you can zoom in and out with the camera. But like you don't have to, like a lot of people think you have to take the picture first. If you're using the app will just go ahead and do it for you, right? Because you see that this is the camera, right? It's moving, it's live. And then you would just hit the little search down there. But if you have an image saved to your phone, or if you take a picture of something, you could also do it that way, which is the third bonus tip that I have for you. Let me switch over again. And I will show you that if you were in a Google browser, see it. Come on. Wow, I really zoomed in on this, didn't I? I might have to zoom out again because it's not, I don't know if that's going to show you everything. Let me zoom out a little bit. Hang on one sec. Let's zoom back out a bit. There we go. Matter of fact, let's just reset. Okay, well, actually, that'll work. We can do it this way. There we go. Okay, so go ahead and get out of that. So in order to access it from the Google browser, you're going to go up to the three dots on the right side here. You're going to click down on that, and you're going to come down, and you're going to look for, which here it is, search with Google Lens. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you this cursor. And then you can go ahead and pick whatever part of the page or image or whatever you're looking at, and you will get matches. So let's maybe do that again with some other part of the page, right? So it gives you these options, and you can click through and learn more. And then you just click and it goes away again. And so we'll do another one, Google Lens. And let's say we want to find out more about Gboard. And over on the right side, you see you've got all these results. So it's available to you in a lot of places, which you're starting to see more and more with the Google tools. But depending on what you're doing, so the one in the browser is limited to what you can highlight, what's in front of what you have in a browser or on your screen, right? So if, for example, I haven't really tried that. If we had another thing, do I have another thing open? I don't really. You might be able to go ahead and get more details. Let's bring this over here. Try this real quick. Let me just try a quick hack on the fly here because the idea just popped in my head. Do that. If this works, I'll show you. Otherwise, there's no point, right? But it's definitely like if whatever you're looking at in a browser, it should absolutely work for. But let's see. Oops, I lost my window. So let's see. Yeah, no. Okay, so here's what I was trying to do. Ideas pop in my head on the fly. I was curious if I had an app open over the top of the browser, if it would give me the cursor. But you see the cursor is here on the browser, and it goes away here. This is part of my streaming tool. So it is limited to whatever is in the browser. You do need to be using Google Chrome to access that one. But you can also point this at your computer screen to get information about whatever you want. So basically anything that the camera can see, you can get more information on. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that maybe it's going to encourage you to go and try out some ideas. There's a lot more ideas out there. But these are the ones that I thought like people might use on a semi-regular basis, might be helpful. And particularly like the translate and having the text read to you out loud, identifying products, identifying plants, animals, all that kind of stuff. That's just the kind of thing that in, the course of your day or could possibly be really, really helpful. So I hope that works for you, and we will see you next week. I'm here every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and you are always welcome to join live and jump into the chat, or you could also go ahead and pop a comment in wherever you're watching. I do go back, I do read them all, and I respond. Just remember, it takes a little longer. Many of you, one of me, so don't expect an immediate response, but I will reply. All right, everybody, have a good one. We'll talk soon. Bye.